Hello everyone, Keep Garden Tech Guy here with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about the Oneplus 3T. So let's go right into the specs. Now the Oneplus 3T, as you look at it, it looks similar to the Oneplus 3, which was launched earlier out in the year. Now, the fact that its name has the similar title to the tree is because it has the same design as the tree. But the difference between the Oneplus 3 and the 3T really has nothing to do with design, but in terms of software and hardware. So let's go into the features. Now let's start off with my favorite spec, the price. It's $439. You know, for $439, you're thinking this phone is not going to get much, but it has a lot of features. And for the fact that it runs Snapdragon 821, and the phones that are currently running Snapdragon 821 cost over $500, and this costs $439, and that's very good. And it will be available for purchase on the 22nd of November. Also powered by dash charge, which we all know. Now this is OnePlus description for the 3T. The OnePlus 3T stays true to never settle approach. Impressive specs mean nothing if you don't have a great experience every time you pick up a phone. The OnePlus 3T delivers best user experience thanks to the latest hardware upgrades and carefully tested software enhancements. It was developed with care and craftsmanship in collaboration with our community, and I quote from OnePlus: "A day's power in half an hour." Just like the OnePlus 3, the OnePlus 3T is powered by Dash Quick Charge, which can get a day's power in half an hour, which will give you about 35% in half an hour of battery life, from 0 to 35 in half an hour. Now the battery has a 30% increase with a 3400 milliamp battery. Now let's do a little comparison with battery here with the OnePlus 3 and the OnePlus 3T. Now the OnePlus 3 had a 3000 milliamp battery, and the OnePlus 3T has a 3400 milliamp battery. So that's a 30% increase indeed. And play more, do more. Now OnePlus has a close partnership with Qualcomm and their Snapdragon chipset, and this is powered by the latest chipset from Qualcomm, Snapdragon 821 with 2.5 GHz. Now, not only that, this one has 6 gigs of RAM, and also it has up to 128 gigs of storage. Now, at the press release, OnePlus said you can choose between 64 and the 128 gig version, which is very great on my behalf. Now the camera impressed me. When I saw the camera specs, I almost thought I was dreaming. Now we all know the Google Pixel is the best camera out right now. The whole world knows that. Well, most of the world knows that. But does the Google Pixel has the best selfie camera? OnePlus brought a 16 megapixel rear camera, yes, but that's not all. But the front facing camera is a 60 megapixel as well. Both front and rear cameras are 60 megapixel. The fact that the front camera has 60 megapixels is expected for you to get top of the line selfie experience here. Top of the line selfie experience, which is like amazing to me. And style built to last. Now the OnePlus 3T challenges modern smartphone aesthetics just like the OnePlus 3. but it has a gunmetal color. That's the difference. Now let's look at the OnePlus 3 design. It has a metal unibody carving, but this has a gunmetal color design. So therefore you can tell some difference between the OnePlus 3 and the 3T of itself, with space grade aluminum alloy, of course. New and improved software. Now we know OnePlus phones run on their very own Oxygen OS. And Oxygen OS is kind of stock Android, but I should say it's OnePlus versions of stock Android. And by that, we all know Oxygen OS is stock Android, but with enhanced features optimized for their products. Now, not like optimized in terms of launchers, but features of itself. Now, the result of the new Oxygen OS is that it is based on Android Nougat, and not much and Android Nougat is nice, it's improved, but not much phones are out with Android Nougat compared to Android's Marshmallow release. But if you want Android Nougat and you want a phone that's cheap and customizable, boom, OnePlus has it for you. Now let us go into the full specs. Now the OnePlus 3 has two colors, gunmetal and soft gold. Gunmetal and soft gold. Now to me, the gunmetal is my favorite color because I like the gunmetal because it's more unique and it's distinctive between the OnePlus 3 and the 3T. But anyway, let's start off with the basic parameters now. It weighs 158 grams. That's the average weight. And it is 7.35 millimeters thick, and the width is 74.7 millimeters, and the height is 152.7 millimeters. Now the material is anodized aluminum, and also with gunmetal / soft gold. Now Oxygen OS, the current version of Oxygen OS is based on Android Marshmallow. It comes with Android Marshmallow. Oxygen OS based on Android Marshmallow, but you can upgrade it to Android Nougat version of Oxygen OS, as I said earlier. The CPU is Qualcomm Snapdragon 821, a quad-core Carrier 2.5 GHz processor. The GPU is a Adreno 530 GPU, which will give you some moderate to severe gaming and also some other usage. 6 gigs of RAM, in other words, you can process up to 6 gigs at the same time. And the storage options would be 64 and 128 gigs. It has a fingerprint sensor and a Hall sensor, accelerometer sensor, gyroscope, and a proximity sensor, along with an ambient light sensor and electronic compass. It has a USB Type-C port and also a dual nano SIM slot with a 3.5mm headphone jack. Apple, if you're watching this video, note OnePlus has a 3.5mm headphone jack, and their phone is thinner than your iPhone 7. Okay. The battery capacity is 3400 milliamps with non-removable, with dash charge built in. Also, it comes with other features such as an alert slider, custom icon packs, gesture control, OnePlus shelf, a vibration monitor, and a RGB LED notification light. The connectivities, it will support GSM networks and 4G LTE networks with C8.6. And also the North American model will support WCDMA with FDD-LTE and CDMA. The Asia/Europe model supports WCDMA, FDD-LTE, and also TDD-LTE. The China model supports WCDMA, FDD-LTE, TD-LTE, and also TD-SCDMA bands with CDMA FWBCO bands. It has Wi-Fi, of course. It runs with Bluetooth 4.2. It has NFC enabled, and also location services include GPS, GLONASS, and Baidu. Audio, it has a bottom front facing speaker, dual microphone for noise cancellation, Oneplus music, and also direct HD sound. A 5.5-inch display, which is full HD. It has a 0.755mm bezel and Corning Gorilla Glass 4. It has the optical AMOLED type also, with an aspect ratio of 16:9. It features night mode display and also accent colors. Now for the camera, the rear camera is a Sony IMX298 sensor, which is 60 megapixels with a 1.0 FOM. It has optical image stabilization and electronic image stabilization. It has autofocus with face detection. It has an f2.0 aperture, supports video recording up to 4K. It has slow motion recording at HD with performance at 120 FPS. And yes, it has raw image support. And the lens cover is a sapphire crystal lens cover. Features auto HDR, dynamic, and also manual control. The front camera is a Samsung 3P8SP sensor with a 60 megapixel capacity also and a 1.0 UM. That's EIS with fixed focus, same f2.0 aperture, and full HD recording supported, and selfie and auto selfie with smile capture. It supports multimedia formats such as MP3, MP4, and so on. And so that is it today with the OnePlus 3T. Never settle for more performance. Tell me what you think about this phone and the specs. Like this video, share it, tell me what you think in the comments, and subscribe to my channel for more. Bye.